in the far north of our world, beyond the reach of highways, beyond the rhythm of cities, beyond the comfort of what most people would call normal life, there exists a place where survival is not guaranteed, a land where the wind does not simply blow, it cuts, where the cold is not just uncomfortable, it is constant, unrelenting, and absolute. A place where the horizon stretches endlessly across a frozen landscape, and where silence is so deep it begins to feel like a presence of its own. This is Greenland. From a distance, it looks empty. A massive island covered in white, almost untouched by human existence. It appears as if no one could live here, as if no one ever should. And yet, people do. Not just a few scattered explorers or temporary workers, entire communities, families, children growing up in a place where nature is not something you visit, but something you live inside every single day. For months at a time, the sun disappears completely. Darkness takes over the land, and time begins to feel different. Days blur together, and the outside world fades into a dim, endless twilight. Then, just as suddenly as it vanished, the sun returns. But this time, it refuses to set. Day and night collapse into one continuous stretch of light. Sleep becomes optional, time becomes fluid, and the entire country seems to wake up all at once. This is not just a place, it is an experience, a rhythm, a way of life shaped entirely by forces far beyond human control. So the question is not simply how people survive here. The real question is, why stay? To understand Greenland, you must first understand one thing: the ice. It is not just part of the landscape, it is the landscape. Over 80% of Greenland is covered by a massive ice sheet, one of the largest bodies of ice on Earth. In some places, it stretches more than 3 kilometers deep, forming a frozen layer so thick it reshapes the entire island beneath it. But this ice is not still. It moves. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, glaciers push forward across the land. They carve valleys, reshape mountains, and eventually meet the ocean, where they break apart with thunderous force. Massive chunks of ice collapse into the sea, forming towering icebergs that drift silently through Greenland's fjords. From a distance, they are beautiful. Up close, they are overwhelming. These floating giants are a constant reminder that Greenland is not a place of stability. It is a place of movement, of change, of power. And everything, every settlement, every road, every decision is shaped by this frozen force. The interior of Greenland is almost entirely uninhabitable. Too cold, too unstable, too unforgiving. Which is why human life exists only along the edges, where the ice gives way just enough to allow something else to exist. In Greenland, the ice does not simply surround life, it defines it. Greenland is enormous, but almost no one lives here. The total population is just under 60,000 people, fewer than many small cities around the world. And those people are not spread evenly across the land. They are concentrated along the coastline, because that is the only place where life is possible. The interior remains untouched, dominated entirely by ice. But along the edges, where rock meets ocean, small towns have formed. These settlements are unlike anything most people have ever seen. Brightly coloured houses stand against a backdrop of mountains and frozen water. From above, they look almost fragile, small pockets of life surrounded by an overwhelming silent wilderness. Each town is isolated. There are no roads connecting them, no highways stretching across the island, no easy way to move from one place to another. Instead, each community exists almost like its own world, self-contained, independent, and deeply connected internally. Because when you live in a place like this, isolation is not just geography, it becomes part of who you are. In most parts of the world, travel is simple. You get into a car, follow a road, and eventually you arrive. In Greenland, that system does not exist. There are no roads connecting towns. None. The terrain makes it impossible. Mountains rise sharply from the coastline. The ice blocks any path inland. And the distances between communities are vast. So people adapt. They travel by air. Small planes connect towns, landing on short runways surrounded by ice and rock. These flights are not just convenient, they are essential. They carry people, food, medicine, everything needed to sustain life. During certain times of the year, when the sea allows it, boats take over. Ferries move along the coastline, navigating through fjords and drifting ice, connecting communities in a slow but vital network. But here's the reality. Nothing is guaranteed. Weather controls everything. A sudden storm can cancel flights. Thick fog can ground planes. Ice can block sea routes without warning. Plans change, schedules collapse, and patience becomes part of daily life. Because in Greenland, you do not control movement. Nature does. Winter in Greenland is not just cold, it is dark. For months at a time, the sun does not rise above the horizon. The world is left in a constant state of twilight, not fully night, not truly day. This period is known as the polar night, and it changes everything. Temperatures drop dramatically, often reaching -30 degrees Celsius or lower. The air becomes sharper, the environment becomes still. Time itself begins to feel slower. Without sunlight, energy levels shift. Daily routines adjust. The outside world becomes quieter, less active, almost suspended. But perhaps the most powerful effect is psychological. The darkness is not just something you see, it is something you feel. A deep, heavy silence that surrounds everything. And yet, life continues. People go to work, children go to school, communities stay active. Because this is not something new, it is something they have learned to live with, adapted to, understood. Because in Greenland, darkness is not the end of life, it is simply part of it. Just when the darkness begins to feel endless, everything changes. The sun returns. At first, slowly, a faint glow on the horizon, a brief moment of light that breaks through the long Arctic night. And then, it stays. The days grow longer, brighter, warmer, until eventually, something remarkable happens. The sun no longer sets. This is the midnight sun. For weeks, sometimes months, daylight becomes constant. The sky remains bright even at midnight, casting a soft golden light over the land. Shadows stretch endlessly, and time itself begins to lose its meaning. Night disappears. People adjust in ways that are both practical and instinctive. Sleep becomes irregular. Some rest when they feel tired, others stay awake far longer than they normally would. Curtains are drawn, not to keep out darkness, but to block out the light. But beyond the physical changes, something else happens. Energy returns. After months of cold and darkness, the entire country seems to come alive. There is movement again, activity, sound. People go outside more often. They gather, travel, explore. It is as if Greenland is waking up from a long, deep sleep. And everyone knows this moment will not last forever. In Greenland, weather is not just something you observe, it is something you respond to immediately. Conditions can shift without warning. A calm morning with clear skies and still air can transform into a storm within minutes. The wind rises first, then the snow begins. Visibility drops, and suddenly, what was once familiar becomes disorienting, even dangerous. The environment does not give second chances. Out on the ice, small changes can mean everything. A surface that appeared solid can weaken, cracks can form, sections can shift. Even experienced travelers remain cautious, because here, knowledge is survival. People learn from an early age how to read the signs, the direction of the wind, the texture of the snow, the sound beneath their feet. These details, often invisible to outsiders, are essential. They guide decisions, they prevent mistakes, they keep people alive. Greenlanders do not try to control nature. They understand something fundamental. Nature is always stronger, and the only way to live here is to respect that. In a place this isolated, survival has never been an individual effort. It has always been collective. Greenlandic communities are small but deeply connected. People are not anonymous. They know each other, not just by name, but by history. Families are intertwined. Relationships extend across generations. And within these communities, there is an unspoken understanding. Everyone matters. If someone is in need, help is given. If food is scarce, it is shared. If something goes wrong, people respond. Not because they are asked, but because they understand what is at stake. This way of living is not new. It has existed for centuries. In the past, survival depended entirely on cooperation. Harsh conditions made independence impossible. And so, systems of sharing and support were built, not as acts of kindness, but as necessities. Those systems still exist today. They are part of the culture, part of daily life. And in a place where isolation is constant, they are the reason life continues. Daily life in Greenland is shaped by one thing above all else: the environment. There is structure, work, school, routine, but it is flexible, because conditions are never fully predictable. For many, the day begins early. Fishermen prepare their boats, heading out into cold waters before sunrise. Their work is demanding, often dangerous, but essential. The ocean provides not just income, but sustenance. Others follow more familiar routines. Children go to school. Parents go to work in offices, shops, or public services. But even these activities are influenced by nature. Weather can delay plans, travel can be interrupted, schedules can change. In smaller settlements, the connection to the environment is even stronger. Hunting and fishing are not occasional activities. They are part of daily life. When food is gathered, it is rarely kept by one family alone. It is distributed, shared among relatives, neighbors, and elders. Because here, survival is not individual, it is shared. Every action has purpose. Every resource is valued, and every day is shaped by what nature allows. During the long winter months, when darkness dominates and the outside world becomes still, life moves indoors. Homes become more than just places to live. They become centers of connection. One of the most important traditions in Greenland is Kaffemik. At first glance, it seems simple, an open gathering. Friends, neighbors, and family are invited to come and go throughout the day. There is no strict schedule, no formal structure. People arrive, share coffee, eat homemade food, talk, laugh, and then leave when they choose. But its meaning runs deeper. Kaffemik is not just social, it is emotional. In a place where isolation is unavoidable, these gatherings create a sense of togetherness. They bring warmth into months that can otherwise feel cold and distant. They remind people that they are not alone, that they are part of something. During celebrations, birthdays, confirmations, anniversaries, Kaffemik becomes even more significant. Entire communities take part, reinforcing bonds that have existed for generations. In Greenland, connection is not taken for granted. It is created, maintained, and deeply valued. Long before engines, before snowmobiles and modern transport, there were dogs, strong, resilient, and perfectly adapted to the Arctic environment. Dog sledding has been part of life in Greenland for generations. It is not just a tradition. It is a system of survival that has proven itself over time. A team of sled dogs moves with precision. Each animal understands its role. The rhythm of their movement is steady, efficient, almost silent. For the driver, control is not forced. It is shared. Trust is essential. These dogs navigate terrain that machines cannot. They cross frozen landscapes, move through deep snow, and respond instinctively to changes in the environment. Even today, in many northern and eastern regions, dog sledding remains vital. Not as a relic of the past, but as a tool of the present. A connection between generations. A reminder that even in a modern world, some of the oldest methods are still the most reliable. While tradition remains strong in Greenland, modern tools have become essential. Survival here has never been about choosing between old and new. It has always been about adapting. In winter, when the land freezes and snow covers everything, snowmobiles take over. They are fast, powerful, and capable of crossing large distances that would otherwise take hours, or even days, by foot or sled. For many families, a snowmobile is not a luxury. It is a necessity. It allows them to travel between hunting areas, visit nearby settlements, and move across frozen fjords that would otherwise be inaccessible. But even with this technology, nature still sets the limits. Snowmobiles cannot replace knowledge. They cannot predict the ice. They cannot feel the subtle changes in the terrain the way experienced travelers can, which is why traditional understanding remains just as important as modern tools. Then, when summer arrives, everything changes again. The ice retreats, the sea opens, and boats become the primary way of life. Small motorboats are everywhere. They are used for fishing, transportation, visiting family, and exploring the surrounding fjords. For many Greenlanders, owning a boat is like owning a car in other parts of the world. It represents freedom, movement, access. But just like in winter, the ocean is unpredictable. Weather can change quickly, waves can rise without warning, and navigating through ice requires constant awareness. In Greenland, technology helps, but it never replaces respect for nature. Long before Greenland became what it is today, people lived here, not in modern houses, not with modern tools, but in a way that required complete adaptation to the environment. The Inuit people arrived in this region thousands of years ago. They did not conquer the land, they learned from it. They observed its patterns, they understood its limits, and over time, they built a way of life that allowed them to survive where others could not. This heritage is not something distant. It is not something locked in history books. It is still present, still visible, still alive. It exists in the way people hunt, in the way they travel, in the way they understand the environment. It exists in knowledge that has been passed down through generations, not written, not recorded, but experienced. This connection to the past is not about nostalgia, it is about continuity. Because in Greenland, survival has always depended on remembering what came before. Language in Greenland is more than communication. It is a reflection of the environment. The Greenlandic language was shaped by necessity. It developed in a place where understanding nature was not optional, it was essential. As a result, the language contains a rich and detailed vocabulary for describing the world around it. Different types of snow, different movements of ice, different behaviors of animals, things that might seem insignificant elsewhere, are crucial here, because those differences can determine survival. Children grow up learning this language from an early age. It is the foundation of identity. But they also learn other languages, connecting them to the wider world. This creates a balance, a generation that understands both its roots and the world beyond them. In Greenland, language is not just spoken, it is lived. It carries knowledge, it preserves culture, and it connects people to a way of life that has existed for thousands of years. In many parts of the world, traditions fade. They become distant, replaced by modern life. But in Greenland, many traditions have remained. Not unchanged, but still meaningful, still practiced, still relevant. One of the most powerful examples is the drum dance. Once used for storytelling, communication, and even conflict resolution, it remains an important part of cultural expression. The rhythm is steady, hypnotic. It carries emotion, history, meaning. Then there is carving. Small, detailed works of art created from bone, stone, or wood. Each piece tells a story of animals, of life, of survival. These are not just artistic expressions, they are records. They preserve experiences, they connect generations, and they remind people of where they come from. In Greenland, tradition is not separate from modern life, it exists within it. Hunting in Greenland is often misunderstood. To outsiders it may seem harsh, difficult to accept, but here, it is essential. It has always been part of life, not just as a source of food, but as a system, a way of maintaining balance. Hunters rely on deep knowledge. They understand animal behavior, migration patterns, seasonal changes. Nothing is random. Everything is observed. Every action is intentional. When an animal is taken, it is used fully. Nothing is wasted. Because in an environment like this, waste is not an option. Hunting also carries cultural meaning. It connects people to their ancestors, to a way of life that has existed for generations. It reinforces skills, knowledge, respect for the land, for the animals, for the balance that allows life to continue. In Greenland, food is rarely kept by one person alone. It is shared. This is not just generosity. It is a system, a structure that ensures survival. When a hunter returns with food, it is distributed. Family members, neighbors, elders, everyone benefits, because there will be times when someone else succeeds, and the roles will reverse. This system creates stability, it reduces risk, and it strengthens community. No one is completely dependent on their own success, because everyone is connected. This way of living has existed for generations, and even today, it remains one of the strongest foundations of Greenlandic society. Food in Greenland is not about luxury, it is about function. Every meal is designed to support life in extreme conditions. The climate demands high energy, high fat, high protein. Fish is a major part of the diet. Arctic char, cod, halibut. But there is also meat, seal, reindeer, whale. These foods provide the nutrients needed to stay warm and active in cold environments. Traditional dishes like suasat, a simple, nourishing soup, reflect this practicality. Then there is matak, raw whale skin and blubber, rich in nutrients, important historically for preventing deficiencies. To outsiders, it may seem unusual, but here, it is normal, because food in Greenland is not about preference, it is about survival. In Greenland, one truth remains constant. Nature is not controlled, it is respected. People do not try to dominate the environment. They learn from it, they adapt to it, they understand its patterns, its limits, its power. This relationship is built over time, through experience, through observation, through knowledge passed down from generation to generation. Because in the end, nature decides everything, and those who understand it are the ones who continue to live here. In Greenland, survival has always depended on one thing above all else: the sea, cold, vast, and often unpredictable. The ocean is both a provider and a threat. It shapes daily life in ways that are impossible to ignore. Fishing is not just an occupation here. It is the backbone of the entire country. From small boats to large industrial vessels, people head out into Arctic waters in search of what sustains them. Prawns, cod, halibut. These are not just resources. They are the foundation of the economy. Entire communities rely on what is brought in from the sea. Processing plants operate along the coastline, preparing fish for export. Jobs are created not only on the water, but on land as well. In fact, the majority of Greenland's exports come from fishing, which means one thing: if the ocean changes, everything changes. This dependency creates both stability and risk, because while the sea provides, it also demands respect. Life in Greenland does not move at the pace of large cities. It is slower, more deliberate, more connected. In small towns, people know each other, not just casually, but personally. You recognize faces, you understand histories. You are part of a shared environment where anonymity does not exist. Daily life is simple. Children play outside, even in cold conditions. People walk rather than drive short distances. Conversations happen naturally, in shops, on streets, at gatherings. There is a sense of closeness, of belonging, but there is also limitation. These towns are isolated. Resources are limited. Opportunities can be fewer, which creates a balance, a life that is rich in connection, but restricted in certain ways. And that balance defines what it means to live here. Living in Greenland comes at a price, a high one. Almost everything must be imported. Food, clothing, electronics, fuel. All of it travels long distances before reaching local communities. And that distance adds cost. Basic items can be significantly more expensive than in other parts of the world. Fresh fruits and vegetables are limited. Fuel is costly. Heating a home through the long winter months requires constant resources. This creates daily challenges. Families must plan carefully. Spending must be controlled, and access to certain goods becomes restricted. Life here is not just physically demanding, it is financially demanding as well. But people adapt, because they have always had to. Healthcare in Greenland reflects the realities of distance and isolation. Local clinics exist in towns and settlements. They provide essential care, routine checkups, basic treatments. But when something serious happens, the situation changes. Advanced medical care is not always available locally, which means patients must travel, sometimes to larger towns, sometimes beyond Greenland entirely. This can involve flights, long distances, delays caused by weather. Time becomes critical, and access becomes uncertain. For families, this creates stress. For patients, it creates risk, because in a place like Greenland, help is not always immediately available. And that reality shapes how people think about health, safety, and preparation. Travel in Greenland is never simple. There are no roads connecting towns, no quick trips between cities. Movement depends on planes and boats, and both depend on weather. Flights can be delayed or cancelled entirely. Boats can be blocked by ice or forced to wait out storms. This unpredictability affects everything: work schedules, medical visits, family gatherings, even basic planning. People learn to adjust, to remain flexible, to accept that not everything can be controlled. Because in Greenland, movement is not guaranteed, it is conditional. Education in Greenland is more than academics. It is cultural preservation. Children learn standard subjects, mathematics, science, language, but they also learn something deeper: their history, their traditions, their connection to the land. Greenlandic is taught as the primary language. Danish is introduced as well, opening access to further education and opportunities beyond the island. This creates a dual identity. Students grow up connected to their roots, while also preparing for a wider world. Education becomes a bridge between past and future, between local life and global possibilities. For many young Greenlanders, there comes a moment of decision. To continue their education, they often must leave, traveling to larger cities, sometimes to other countries. This transition is significant. They move from small, close-knit communities to large, unfamiliar environments. The difference is immediate. Anonymity replaces familiarity, speed replaces stillness, and adjustment takes time. Some embrace it, some struggle with it. But eventually, another decision must be made. Do they return home or stay away? The younger generation in Greenland lives between two realities, one rooted in tradition, the other shaped by modern influence. They grow up using smartphones, social media, and global platforms. They listen to international music, follow global trends, connect with people far beyond their immediate environment. At the same time, they remain tied to their culture, their language, their identity. This creates a unique balance, but also a challenge. Because navigating these two worlds is not always easy. Choices must be made, priorities must be set, and the future becomes something they must define for themselves. For those who leave Greenland, returning is never a simple decision. Opportunities may be greater elsewhere, careers may be easier to build, life may be more convenient. But home is different. It carries meaning, connection, identity. Some return, bringing new skills, new ideas, new perspectives. Others stay away, building lives in places far from where they began. Both choices shape Greenland, because the future of the country depends on those who will lead it next. For thousands of years, Greenland has existed in balance, a fragile balance, but a stable one. The ice expanded, the ice retreated, seasons shifted, but remained predictable. Today, that balance is changing, and the change is not subtle, it is visible. Glaciers that once stood firm are now retreating at increasing speed. Ice sheets are thinning. Massive sections break away more frequently, sending larger icebergs into the ocean. The landscape itself is shifting. For many people in Greenland, this is not something they read about. It is something they see, something they experience. Hunters notice differences in ice patterns. Travel routes that were once reliable are no longer safe. Sea ice forms later and melts earlier. And with these changes comes uncertainty, because life here depends on predictability, on knowing when the ice will hold, when it will break, when it is safe to move, when it is not. Climate change does not arrive dramatically. It arrives quietly, gradually, but its effects are powerful. And in a place like Greenland, those effects are felt first. As the environment changes, so does the future. For a long time, Greenland's economy has depended heavily on one thing: fishing. It remains the dominant industry. But relying on a single source of income carries risk, so there is a growing effort to diversify. Tourism is one possibility. The unique landscapes, the icebergs, the culture, all attract visitors from around the world. People come to experience something rare, something untouched. But tourism also brings challenges. It introduces outside influence, pressure on local environments, and changes to traditional ways of life. Then there is another possibility: resources. Beneath Greenland's surface lie valuable minerals, rare earth elements, metals, materials that are in high demand globally. Extracting them could transform the economy, create jobs, increase independence. But it also raises difficult questions about environmental impact, about cultural preservation, about what should be protected, and what should be changed. The future of Greenland is not fixed. It is being shaped right now. Change is not always easy, especially in a place where tradition runs deep. Greenland stands at a crossroads. On one side, there is opportunity, economic growth, modern development, connection to the global world. On the other, there is preservation, culture, identity, a way of life that has existed for thousands of years. Balancing these two forces is not simple. Every decision matters. Every step forward carries consequences. Because progress can bring benefits, but it can also bring loss. Loss of tradition, loss of connection, loss of something that cannot be replaced. This is the challenge Greenland faces. Not just how to grow, but how to grow without losing itself. So after everything, the cold, the isolation, the challenges, the uncertainty, the question remains, why stay? Why continue to live in a place like this? The answer is not simple, but it is powerful, because Greenland is not just a location. It is identity. It is belonging. It is connection to people, to land, to something deeper than convenience. Here, life is not easy, but it is real. Every action has purpose. Every moment has weight. There is no excess, no distraction, just life, in its most direct form. And for many, that is enough, more than enough. Living in Greenland means accepting reality as it is. There are no shortcuts, no easy solutions, only adaptation, resilience, and understanding. People here learn to live with uncertainty, to adjust, to endure, and in doing so, they develop something rare. Strength, not just physical, but mental, emotional. A quiet strength that comes from facing challenges every day and continuing anyway. This is not survival in the dramatic sense. It is survival in the everyday sense. Steady, consistent, unseen, and incredibly powerful. At the edge of the Arctic, where the ice meets the sea, where silence stretches across the land, life continues, not loudly, not forcefully, but quietly, steadily, enduring. Greenland is not a place that changes for people. People change for it. They adapt, they learn, they become part of it. And in doing so, they find something that is becoming increasingly rare in the modern world. A true connection to nature, to community, to life itself. This is Greenland, a place of extremes, a place of contrast, a place where survival is not just about enduring, but about belonging.